The opioid epidemic. Addiction, overdose, and death. The opioid epidemic is the rapid increase in the use of opioid drugs, whether prescribed or not. This issue began in the late 1990s and continues on into the first 2 decades of the 2000s. They are a diverse class of moderately strong painkillers such as OxyContin, Vicodin, Percocet, and fentanyl, some including opium-derived morphine and heroin. Opioids are so powerful that even one large dose can cause respiratory failure and death. Many people have become addicted to these legal drugs and died from overdosing. The potency and availability of opioids have been made popular as both formal medical treatments and recreational drugs. Opioids interact with opioid receptors on nerve cells in the brain. They regulate pain, control emotion, and affect the pleasure circuit. This makes opioids powerful painkillers but also extremely addictive. Since this is a legal drug, many use opioids for non-medical purposes. Although this problem is global and has affected people all around the world in the past, it is particularly hitting the United States the hardest. Drug overdoses have become the leading cause of death of Americans under the age of 50, with 2/3 of these being opioids. In 2016, over 64,000 Americans died from opioid overdoses, and the percentages continue to increase every year. This has overall taken a toll on so many people and is causing the decline of life expectancies. The epidemic is also very expensive, costing the United States approximately $504 billion in 2015. Though California's opioid death rate is among the nation's lowest, there are states such as West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, New Hampshire, and Rhode Island that are being deeply affected by this. And in some states, more people are dying from opioid overdoses than car accidents. This issue is relevant to me because this seems to be a huge problem, especially with teenagers and young adults these days. It is currently a trending issue and is all over the internet and news. While listening to the news, I have heard so many reports of people dying due to opioid drug abuse. After all of this, I decided I wanted to learn more about opioids. To learn more about this issue, I have read reports, listened to the news, and heard what they all had to say about this epidemic. I have also researched and looked at multiple websites on positive uses, negative uses, statistics, and how it overall affects us. Now, what's being done currently to address the problem? Doctors are starting to avoid the prescriptions and finding alternative painkillers that should be less harmful. Governors have signed legislations that restricts the use to a 7-day time limit, and there are many anti-opioid organizations. Donald Trump has also made promises to fight opioid addiction through overdose reversing drugs and improving medical training on addiction. Although these leaders have made these promises, little has been done about it on a national level. I hope to be the person to make a difference, spreading awareness and making the harms of the drug known to everybody.